welcome to today's members crystal ball, an early one for the earlier time zones like IST. So I hope that a few of you guys could catch up. Let's see who we have in. Just loading my chat here. Pooja, hello, welcome. And we actually have a new member, Carolyn Morgan. So yeah, Carolyn. I don't know if she's here right now, but welcome to the Root Chakra members tier. To Carolyn. So shout out to Carolyn. Hello Pooja, hello Jasmine, and hello Maya. Hello and welcome. I hope you guys are well. So some of the cards are quite similar to yesterday. I had issues yesterday. Sometimes when I disconnect, it's pretty easy to reconnect back onto the stream, but it just would not let me reconnect yesterday. And I had a session on the next hour, so I couldn't really make a new stream because it would have been about 10 minutes long. So I hope we're all okay today. This is a this is a laptop stream and that was a mobile, so hopefully this is a little bit better. It's been a while since I had that much of an issue with my mobile though, so not too bad. So we have angel cards, these ones this time, no Seraph Souls today. We have Akashic, we have Sufi Wisdom, Spirit Animal, Spellcasting, and of course love cards as always. And they're the cards for today. There are some of the box ones over there like Starseed, Shadow Healing, Druid Wisdom, and Moon Magic. If you do want any of those, I can grab them, but I feel like sometimes when there's too many you kind of forget which ones I've said, so we'll just stick with those for now. And yeah, so if you want a card, you're very welcome to that. And yeah, so crystal ball, of course. You can't see it fully, but we do have the crystal ball here. So go ahead, get your questions in, and we have probably 2 hours today, with it being the earlier ones usually a little bit quieter. So it should be enough time for everyone if we do 2 hours. Okay, so Carolyn is here, amazing. Hello and welcome to the members. Yeah, hello and welcome. So, first question is Pooja, ends current energies for me. The energies are very positive. I will say, you know, it is quite a platonic energy, but it's very positive. And yeah, so shout out to Carolyn. I don't know if you heard me before. Shout out to Carolyn for our brand new Root Chakra member, or newest member. So yeah, I'm really, really grateful for that. Thank you so much for joining. So you do get at least 2 extra crystal balls a month, and one channeling. If you're Root Chakra, you get 1 channeling. But I do a lot of streams where members are prioritised, so like tea leaf reading, the members are prioritised. I don't think any non-members have had a tea leaf yet, because they do take quite a while whilst I'm learning. So yes. Jasmine, did someone put a nail in my tyre and take the cap off the air tube? And if so, who was it? Okay. So I'm getting a yes on that, and I am getting definitely a male. I'm trying to get through who it is. I have my own suspicion in my mind, but I don't want to put that into the ball, you know? Yeah, I'm getting confirmation. All I'm getting is confirmation that that's a male at the moment. But I do think I want to. I want to cycle back to that one and double check in case it is someone that we actually know and not just some, vandalizing kids or anything like that. So I do want to double check on that one. So do remind me of that one, please. Pooja says Akashic Tarot. So you have reflection. So reflection, of course, it's just about taking that time for a moment. You might have had quite a busy week, or you just haven't had enough time to yourself to kind of meditating, reflecting, a spiritual work. So it can be reflecting on things like if you've been feeling over emotional, or if you've been very busy, or if you have a lot of decisions to make. It can be reflecting in quite a decision making kind of sense. But it can also be if you have maybe stepped away a little bit from the spiritual practices a little bit. Could just be urging you to step back into those spiritual practices a little bit more and do more meditation. Specifically, meditation will come up with the reflection card. Kevin, Tanya told me that A and his friend from their class always approach Tanya and Pratiksha even when they ignore them. With what intentions do they approach Tanya? I'm going to say P because I always feel like I am not getting the pronunciation right with that one. Okay, with what intentions do they approach? Okay. Yes, there's definitely some romantic interest from some of the male friends there, and that is the purpose for approaching. Guided by Universe, hello! Maya, love card from the person I'm thinking about. There we are. So we have soulmate. Oh, so this is a soulmate, soul family member, something like that. So it says, yes, this is your soulmate. It suggests a connection, a soul connection. So it's not always like that be all and end all soulmate, but it's definitely like a soul family member in some way. Jan says, why Caden and have been hanging out daily? Why does he keep agreeing to her asking daily? Okay. Just bear with me one moment. I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay. So I was up to Jan. Why does Caden and hanging out daily, and why is he agreeing to do that? Okay. Yeah, so there's a very positive energy between them at the moment. They're very connected, they feel it's very positive. It feels like a very positive energy between them. So, yeah, it's just kind of um, I don't know how to say, just kind of in this like nice routine of connecting together daily. They just feel, you know, there's not no like deep reason to it, if that makes sense, but that they are in a very positive energy at the moment. Like not a lot of like conflict going on. Just feeling very like things are going very well and smoothly, if that makes sense, in that connection. So that's kind of unfortunate, but that is how it comes across. Guided by Universe says, will my YouTube channel grow? Currently on 140 subs. Yes, let's check. Yeah, so I do get a yes on that. It's just a slow and steady progression. I do get a yes on that. It's just, you know, just slow. It can be slow at times. Oh, you Guided by Universe says missed you. Yes, I need to come on stream as much as possible and stick to doing some of these earlier streams as well for some of you guys. Pooja, my family sued my aunt for not vacating the property that was given by my mother, her and her family. What could be the outcome of this court case and the issue between my family and aunt? Okay. Yeah, so there does seem to be some repercussions to the aunt. Unfortunately with that one, it does seem to be some repercussions there for the aunt. Kevin says, what are A's thoughts and feelings about Tanya and P? Why does he want to talk to them so much? Okay. There seems mostly to be a friendly energy, but in relation to P, there does seem to be a little bit of attraction there. Carolyn, Christopher's current energy is towards me, okay. So they're positive but passive. So there is a lot of positive energy there, and you do seem to be coming into the mind. I wouldn't say frequently, but also not infrequently. So you know, it's kind of like every now and then, in a very positive way, like thinking of memories, thinking of what you might be up to, and things like that, coming into the mind. But when I say positive but passive, it just means apart from when you come into the mind, you're at the forefront of them when you kind of pop in there. But generally, you're quite at the back of the mind. There's, you know, there's other things that are at the forefront of his mind, and you're just not overly thought about. It's quite passive. There's nothing negative there, but you're just not really too much in his mind, apart from those moments where you're popping in there, which is quite infrequent, but not too infrequent, if that makes sense. So it's kind of a midway between being super frequent and being infrequent. So I hope that makes sense. Jan, is Caden getting annoyed and tired of pressing him to hang out daily? I feel like things between them are a little tense. Okay. So it actually doesn't feel tense at the moment. It doesn't really feel to be a lot of tension at the current moment. It feels quite smooth and okay at the moment. Guided by Universe, will my boss give me leave for 2 days, Thursday and Friday, okay? I do get a positive energy on that. Jasmine, was it someone from the neighbourhood who did it, okay? I'm getting a yes on that. Kevin, why does my skin feel so weird and dry? Do I have something about it energetically, or is it purely physical? If so, any advice? Okay. Yeah, so I'm guessing that this is mainly a physical thing. There is, you know, everything has its components, mind, body, and spirit, but it is mostly in the body. It's mostly a physical thing. So the main things that are kind of coming through with that is those um, essential fats, you know, like omegas and things like that coming through. So they can be very important to the skin, and that's coming through. So it could be, you know, maybe you've had less of that in your diet lately, or you're just being guided to have a little bit more of those kind of fats, you know. Jan, do you see them hanging daily, continuing, or him getting fed up and distancing? And if so, timeline for when he'll start to distance. Okay. Yeah, so it feels like towards the end of the week or beginning of next week there will be some kind of arguments, kind of more not so smooth energy coming back up again with that. So yes, there could be some distancing there. Pooja, what are the energies between N and A and their connection? So these feel okay. I would say positive, not super overly positive, but there is positive energy there mostly. Jasmine, can you tell me something quick that my guides have to say for me for the custody hearing? Sorry, that's coming up in less than an hour. Oh my gosh. Best of luck to you and prayers and everything like that. Hoping for your highest and most preferred outcome. Yes, let's see if we can get a guide message. So first you have angelic energy that's very affirmative that they will be with you, like close by, like directly with you in this time. Yeah, and they are saying that this path it's all aligned how it should be aligned in terms of um, your highest purpose, if that makes sense. So it's all aligning how it's supposed to be aligning, so not to worry. There's really a not to worry kind of energy, but definitely that angelic energy is the closest with you at that time, so you can maybe focus on that if you want to. I mean, they're going to be there anyway, but you know, if you just wanted to feel like you're connected yourself as well. But yeah, they are kind of affirming that it's all exactly how it's supposed to be, if that makes sense. So positive shifting from now on, hopefully. Jan, has she realised Caden is hiding from me by turning on his add-on to make himself look offline? And if so, what does she think about this? So I guess a no to having realised that. Kevin, is there any specific country coming up for me to do my masters? Is it UK, Ireland, France, Germany, Iceland, Finland, Netherlands, Australia, or any other country? Okay. So UK and Netherlands are coming up the most prominently there. Marianne, will the electrician fix the electric cooker tomorrow, or is this a scam? Okay. So I'm not getting any confirmation on it being fixed tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not getting any confirmation on it being fixed tomorrow, so what I would certainly say is, you know, I would certainly just say not to pay until there. done, not to pay until they're finished, just in case, you know, check it yourself kind of thing. I'm not really getting confirmation of it being a scam as such, but it could be that, you know, maybe they can't fix it and that's why it's not tomorrow, because I'm getting confirmation of it being fixed, but it's really not coming through as tomorrow. So it could just be that they don't manage to fix it and they have to come back with some other appliance or something. So don't want to fully say like, oh, it's a scam, but just be mindful with, you know, checking it yourself before you pay, because yeah, it seems like maybe there's an issue with it being tomorrow, but it will be fixed. It does come up. Carolyn, does Christopher deliberately sabotage our connection when he feels we are getting too close? So I get a no on this, but I get a no on the deliberately part. It seems to be kind of a defense mechanism, or almost, you know, that kind of energy, almost like it's subconscious. Like, yes, he's doing it, but it's quite subconscious. Like he makes reasons for it, you know, makes excuses for it up to himself, like convinces himself, you know. John, when will Caden message me, and whenever he messages, what will he say? Okay. Yes, it seems like he'll message seeing how you are within maybe, I would say, just over a week, I would say. Kevin, when will be the best time for me and Tanya to meet in person? So I'm getting 2 weeks on that. Angel card from Marianne, of course. So it's courage. Archangel Ariel, be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. So there may be so you need courage at the moment, but there might be a time coming up where, you know, someone might challenge your beliefs, or challenge, you know, you might have to stand up for yourself, stand up for what you believe in and things like that. So just be mindful to connect with that courage with, you know, ask the angels for a bit of courage if you need it, you know. Pooja, could the soulmate connection expected to enter my life be a platonic connection rather than romantic? It seems very prominently romantic, but yeah, soulmate connections can be platonic. Jasmine, is there any way I can protect my physical belongings like my truck from people doing things to them or taking things, and if so, what? Okay. Yeah, so you can do the general thing, which is, you know, protection spells on specific things, like how we can do it on ourselves, our home, our items. You can dedicate protection spells specifically to them, but you can also use your own, you know, protection, like crystals, protection amulets, sigils, anything like that, within that space as well. If you dedicate a certain thing, whether you do choose sigil, crystal, whatever it is, and keep it within that that vehicle as well. Jan, why didn't Caden come back to call me like he said he would on the first? We were going to play, but servers crashed, and he was like, we can try again and call later, but then he ignored me and was with Anne. Yes. Yeah, so it does seem like he intended to call back at first. He intended to, but he just changed his mind about what he wanted to do, unfortunately, which he should be clear about that, you know, and he should say, you know, actually, I'm busy now, or, you know, he should definitely not ignore you, so he didn't handle it very well. Kevin, if I do give A and me another proper chance, where do you see things going for us in the future? Okay. It feels like the potential of a romantic connection will be pretty short-lived. So it's not to say it wouldn't be positive, it's not to say that it's not important. You know, short-lived connections are still very important. We learn a lot of lessons, we gain experiences and things like that. It just seems like it would likely be quite short-lived and not necessarily have much of a long-term kind of thing to it. But yeah. So it seems positive, like I don't think it's negative, it just doesn't seem like it really takes off, you know? Maya, which type of relationship Samuel wants? Okay. So it's really seeming like he doesn't really want a relationship at the moment. Marianne, I feel my daughter's thinking of reaching out to me. Are my feelings correct? Yes, I get a yes on that. Seems to be a lot of thought about that lately. Jan, is Emma's spell work still having no effects on Caden, and when will it fully wear off? Okay. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like the spell energy there at the moment, so it will have worn off. Jasmine, when is Phil going to contact me again? Okay. So I get 3 to 4 weeks with that one. An Acacia card from Marianne. And you get the Acacia Library. We are drawing that upside down. So the Acacia Library is a lot about being connected to our higher selves, higher knowledge, and things like that. But when we draw it upside down, it can be an indication that there's some knowledge that's kind of either it's available to us and we're not really getting it. Like, you know, like for example, when your guide sends you messages and you're not fully getting them, or maybe you're decoding them a little bit wrong. Like maybe you keep seeing a certain number or getting a certain event happen, and you might be interpreting it a little bit wrong, or maybe there's a dream you've had and you've interpreted it a little bit wrong, because it seems like there's knowledge available to you. You're not quite getting the knowledge that's available to you. But sometimes the Acacia Library, it can link also to actual knowledge, you know, like a general library would have. So it could also suggest that you might need to learn something new. There might be something that you're required to study in order to get, you know, whether it's a spiritual practice or something for your monetary path or something like that. There might be something that you're required to study a little bit more on, maybe gain a qualification or just knowledge of, in order to take you onto that higher path. So there's a little bit of knowledge that you're not quite getting, whether it is something you are required to do, like a course or something for your life path, or whether it is a spiritual message from your guides. There's something you're not quite getting, but there's a lot of knowledge available to you. The Acacia Library is very broad, and it's very broad. It's very full of things like our past life memories, past life knowledge, things like that. So all of those things are available to you. It seems like maybe you just need to tap in just that little bit more, you know? Kevin, if A and I do end up talking, what would he most want to talk to me about? Okay. Like, it seems like generally wanting to get to know you a little bit more one-on-one, like that he actually just feels like he doesn't really know a lot about you, so just wanting to just delve in a little bit more, what are your likes and dislikes, what you like to do, you know, just generally just getting to know you a little bit deeper. Maya says, how does my ex Samuel feel because he and his friends talk crap about me, made me disconnect from him and lose feelings? Okay. Yeah, I would still say there's some feelings there, but they're just not super strong, and also it's kind of like he's kind of ready to move on now. Jasmine, when is the house that I'm supposed to buy going to be available for me to notice it? Okay. So it seems most likely it's going to be the month of September. Jan, why did Caden not open up to me fully on the 31st? Why he has to go and need to leave during a call? He was saying I'm just dealing with, and then spaced out mid-sentence and claimed he forgot. Has Caden or Em brought me up? I feel like they hasn't. Oh, sorry. I thought that was the end of that question. Claims he forgot. Okay, so he just claimed he forgot. That's the end of it. Sorry. So why did he not open up fully on the 31st about why he has to go and needs to leave? Okay. So it seems like it was something a little bit personal to him, and he didn't really want to. He wants to be careful who he is and isn't opening up to about this. Yeah, so something a little bit personal. Doesn't feel family linked, so I'm not 100% certain on what it is. I'm not getting family or health or anything like that, but it is something a little bit personal, like he's not fully ready to open up to everybody about yet. Maya, if I study React's programming tool for 20 hours, will I be able to understand quite a lot? Okay. Yeah, I do get a yes on that. Pooja, how does my connection with my sister seem in the coming months? In the past few years, there's been distance and less communication grown between us due to different life choices. Okay, how does my connection with my sister seem to be in the coming months? It seems like there's more possibility of bridging that gap and coming back a little bit closer the end of the year, so around December time. Kevin, why do I feel so much push and pull away from A lately? I don't even feel certain about whether or not I want him anymore, okay? Yeah, so it seems like there's this conscious part to this and a subconscious part. So on the conscious part, it's kind of just because so many of the chances have passed and nothing's amounted. It's just kind of disappointment and kind of waiting and delays. So in your conscious mind, you're kind of like, maybe I should just move on from this. But in your subconscious mind, I think you do realise that there is actually kind of more, I would say better, but in terms of your life path and longer term connections and more loving connections and things like that, then yes, I would say better connections available to you, and your subconscious mind is very knowing of that. So there's two components to that. Jan, has Caden and Em brought me up? I feel like they had an upset on the second, but I don't know if it was over this or another reason. It doesn't seem like you've been brought up lately at all, I would say no. Jasmine, Justin is extending his resources to me. Should I take the offer? I guess a yes from that. Marianne, there are tiny creamy coloured mushrooms growing in the grass in the garden. Are these from where my female fae has been? Yes, I guess a yes on that. An angel card for Pooja. There we are. So we have Beloved One, Archangel Camille. I am helping you with your spiritual soulmate journey. So spiritual soulmate journey. So yes, you're having help to align to a path with a spiritual soulmate. Very, very nice. Jan, how will he feel if I pull away and start hanging out with another guy? Feeling kind of indifferent at the moment, unfortunately. Kevin, my sleep schedule is very messed up lately, like being awake at night and sleeping in the day. What can I do to help the sleep schedule normal again? Okay. Being awake at night and sleeping in the day, okay. Yeah, so definitely feel like there's more of a link to the crown chakra than the third eye with this one, although both can have sleep impacts. Although both can have sleep impacts. So I'd say there's a little bit more of a link to the crown with this one. So you could do kind of things like herbal teas and kind of those normal kind of things that people would try. But I would definitely say if you are doing your meditations, focus on the crown chakra frequencies. You can find things like foods, mantras, certain yoga poses that all link to the crown chakra. So maybe a bit more focus on that area of the moment could help a little bit more with that. Does seem to have a bit of an imbalance at the moment. Marianne, I walked in the pouring rain yesterday. Did this cleanse any negativities from me? Yes, I guess a yes on that. Jasmine, what was the person's purpose of doing that to my tire? It's pretty stupid. Okay. Yeah, so generally I'm really feeling like from the person's point of view, they're just kind of this like silly kind of well, silly is like a very light word, but I don't want to use any really negative words on stream, but they're this really kind of not nice kind of vandal kind of person, and to them it seems like they did this to a few people, and that they're just what's the word, like antisocial. I don't know what the right word is, but yeah. So on this in this person's mind, there's like nothing really to it. But what I'm personally feeling with this is like you're focusing on Randall and kind of connections that he might have energetically with like entities or anything else that he's connecting with, and I feel like you're really amplifying your own protections to a lot of these negative energies. But while you're protecting your own energies, it's almost like what's the next thing that can be influenced if she's protected, and then it's your belongings. So I feel like this negative energy is kind of, it's almost like a psychic attack manifest into something physical rather than maybe like emotional, or however you might usually perceive them. As sometimes they come through more like a psychic attack might manifest as like a headache or being lethargic, or whatever it might be. So yeah, that's really what I'm getting with that, and it's kind of why I was like, well, I was kind of picking up on some energies like that when I was saying I had a suspicion, but I didn't want to say anything until it really clearly came through. Jan, why did Caden never reply back to me? Was it because he thinks I'm done with him, or he knows I'm hurt and wants to distance, or is there another reason? Yeah, it seems like he does intend. It seems like he did intend to. He's just not. It's kind of like where he's putting his priorities. He's like kind of pushing you down to the bottom of the list. If that makes sense. Sorry, I really can't speak today. So yeah, it's like intention to, but you're not a priority. It's like I will get around to that eventually kind of energy. Starseed card from Marianne. You can kind of see it. Wisdom. See your adversaries as opportunities to expand your spiritual light. So, a lot of wisdom with that. Maybe you can draw that from the spirit guide energy as well. And Druid Wisdom as well for Marianne, yes, of course. So Druid Wisdom. Maybe you can see the picture on the back. So we have Stone of Memories. Memories of good old days. Laughter, tear, or sorrow. They'll be with you in dreams wake tomorrow. I was supposed to read it more like a poem. I always do that with these. Memories of good old days. Laughter, tear, or sorrow. They will be with you in dreams wake tomorrow. Leave nothing left unsaid. Wear lapis lazuli for spiritual guidance and initiations. So you're being given a crystal there, which is the lapis lazuli. So maybe with that, you're not fully getting that message with that Akashic Library card you drew upside down. Maybe lapis lazuli will help you with that connection. Kevin, will I and I ever get to talk tomorrow? The schedule of the event is very tight. There does seem to be a chance. I would say it's around 45%. So it is lesser prominent, but there's a chance. Pooja, could the court case turn into my family's favour and my aunt has to eventually agree to our terms? Yes, I do get a yes on that. Jan, are the upcoming arguments coming for Caden and Em due to her expecting daily calls, like feeling entitled to his time and pushing for a relationship? Yeah, it seems to be linked to spending too much time together, and it kind of is causing a bit of friction, you know, like there needs to be a bit of a break there. Rain, hello, welcome! How is Yuto feeling towards me, okay? Getting a very, very positive energy, and you seem to be at the forefront of the mind quite a little bit as well, so it seems very positive. Marianne, when I visited the old home yesterday, I checked all rooms were completely empty. Did anything follow me from there? No, I guess a no on that, so that's good. Kevin, how are my ancestors doing now who were trying to approach me last week? Do they still have more messages for me or need me to do something? Okay. Yeah, so it seems like they're really helping with your direction of life at the moment, and that they may remain with you for a few months to help with that. Jan, why is these past few days like he makes plans with me, asks me to hang out, but then during our hangouts he cuts them short due to her spam texting and says he will come back but calls her instead? Yeah, so again, this is just about his priorities and where he's putting his priorities. Like, he's taking some spare time to spend with you, but then as soon as he's getting messages from her, he's kind of going over to that. It just seems to be where he's putting his priorities and where he's kind of, his desires are going at the moment, if that makes sense. Jasmine says, oh wow, that's a relief that the court situation today is aligned with my highest path, and thank you for your present support. Is the court hearing for my DV case aligned onto my highest path too? Okay. So I'd say there's a bit of struggle with getting that to fully, because it definitely was knocked off in a very kind of, how can I say, like a way that was very against you. So it was very against, it was like almost knocking you off that path. So there's definitely work to try to make that align to your highest path. I would say at the moment, I would say maybe there's some struggle to fully get that there, but it could get there. Rain, my friend is finding success in FX trading. Should I try it as well? So I'm actually getting quite low energy with that, so of course I'm not going to tell you a definite yes or no, you know, because I don't know, I suppose, yeah, I would feel bad if you could make money from it and I said no, but it's really not giving a good energy in the ball. Like, from the ball I would say no, but yeah, you know, also go with your own guidance. I want everybody to be abundant, so I don't want to sway you from anything that could be positive, but I'm not getting a good energy from it in the ball, unfortunately, so I'm sorry to say that. Kevin, when do you see A unblocking me and maybe messaging me? Okay. It seems like if it happens, it would be within the next few days. Pooja, what was the message behind the dream I saw where I went with A to their home and had a meal with N and A and all of their family members? Was feeling awkward for me being there, okay? Yeah, so it's definitely a message about where you're putting your energy, because, you know, they do have a relationship there, their current connection is present, you know, it's happening right now. They have this connection, they're kind of working on it. Yes, there's been ups and downs, and I kind of feel bad because when there's downs, N definitely kind of thinks of you and kind of, you know, you're like on his mind. But as well, I would say they do have the current connection and they are working on that, and so your kind of energy being there, or your kind of, you know, directing your energy and your focus there, it does cause almost energetically like an issue or an awkwardness, because that is almost like you're not, you know, this energy of you're him feeling awkward while you're there in the dream is because you weren't invited. You weren't invited rarely, you know. You know, it might have seemed like you were within the dream, but the message is that you weren't invited. The message that comes through the interpretation is that you weren't invited. So, so with that, it's kind of like uninvited energy, like you're putting your energy there, but they're trying to work on theirs. And he definitely has fault as well with that, because he's kind of, his energy reaches you oftentimes, but you know, it's not enough. He's not making, you know, he's in the connection, he's not making any effort to get out of the connection or to make a decision to get out of the connection, and you're just kind of there, kind of suspended, if you will. So I would say it's kind of just a message of, you know, maybe it's time to excuse yourself from that connection, if you will. A card of my choice for rain. So let's do a spirit animal. Oh, fox spirit. So you have fox spirit. Think on your feet. So yeah, the fox spirit, you know, think about the fox, they are often hunted. They are hunted quite a lot. They have to be really quick, fast acting and really think about their next move while they're still in momentum. So being fast acting is something you might have to do right now. Fast acting, fast thinking, and so the fox spirit can help you with that. So if you do find that you're under a time pressure, or you're in momentum and you're still, you know, you're getting very busy and you kind of need to juggle things, tap into the fox totem animal for that. Kevin, a love card for the connection with A. Oh, so we have release your ex. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So it can be release your ex. It can be, you know, releasing your ex or something from the past, something that you're holding on to from the past. Past connections, past energy, past interest, past anything that's in the past that's not serving you, these emotions, these ties, these things that you had in the past, clear them from your path to help you move forward to a new connection or new experiences with much more positivity, you know? Jasmine, am I going to have any mediumship activations or upgrades in the next 7 days? Yes, I get about 3 to 4 days for some mediumship activity to come up. Pooja, after meeting Anne 11 years ago, I didn't feel for anyone else, not even a crush or attraction since then. Will I be attracted and have strong emotional connection with the soulmate person? Yes, I do get a yes on that. Jan, what was his most recent thought of me? Yeah, so the thought of possibly having a call or hanging out with you was the most recent thought. Marianne, I keep seeing a replay of a girl walking her route on the way to her murder. She was killed decades ago. Her name was Claire. I'm not sure why she wants me to see this. Is she asking me to help her? Okay? Yeah, so there definitely is a reaching out and asking you to help. Yes, I would say that. Kevin, if I decide to do my masters from the UK or Netherlands, which year would be most favourable for me to do this? I get 2027 with that. Jasmine, oh, we have a new member. I don't know how to pronounce it. Aromi? I'm not really sure how you pronounce it, but hello and welcome. So if you haven't been on before, I'm Venus, this is Secret Frequencies, and as a member, you can be on all of my streams, of course. We do many different streams here. We have a stream coming pretty much every day for this next week. We'll have a stream. So we have aura reading coming up. Gosh, what else? More crystal balls and things like that. You can check my past streams to see the kind of things that we do here. Crystal ball, tarot, past life reading, rune reading, tea leaf reading, all sorts of different things. But yes, so as a member you get 2 extra crystal balls and a channeling. So you can choose a channeling. It would be from a POI, soulmate, twin flame, spirit guide, passed over loved one. anything you want, you can choose who that's from as well. So hello and welcome. So it's really, really lovely to see you. So I'm a little bit behind in the chat, but you can ask as many questions as you like within the time frame. So we have just over an hour left anyway, so definitely get to some of your questions. So it's specific questions for the crystal ball, and you can choose from the cards. We have Angel, Akashic, Spirit Animal, Spellcasting, Sufi Wisdom, and Love cards. So you can choose from those. And also, please leave your full name and date of birth just with your first question. Just helps me to connect to the energy. It's, you know, when you see a psychic in person, they can really connect with the energy because you're right there. Online it's a little bit more difficult, so full name and date of birth is appreciated if that's okay. So let me just get back to the questions here. I think I was up to Jasmine. Should I still stay silent until Phil contacts me, or is the advice for me to reach out so he can respond? Okay. Yeah, so we're still getting to stay silent at the moment, so we can keep a check on that. Carolyn, did Christopher's father reach out to me in my dreams, or was it my subconscious? He was alive at the time, and he spoke to me in the dreams, okay. It seems like it was actually a spirit connection, yes, so I'm getting a yes on that. Marianne, the old neighbours were very upset that I moved, but they were very nice. Sorry, I'm not reading that correctly. The old neighbours are very upset that I have moved, but they were never nice to me. Why have Nathan and Eddie changed their feelings towards me now? Okay. So they've kind of realised that you're great, there's nothing wrong with you, and that now they might get, you know, it's always uncertain when someone moves out, you don't know which neighbour's going to come in. You could get someone much worse than the old neighbour, and I think that's a very common thought that people have when they do, you know, when a neighbour does leave, but because you were always fine and, you know, you didn't do anything wrong, they're kind of regretting that now. They're kind of regretting that they took that for granted. Jan, any guidance on how to stay present and positive during these calls with him? Lately I've been on the edge due to me noticing and feeling he's been distracted during calls and hearing him type to her. Okay? Yeah, so it really does just come down to kind of releasing your own worries and fears. So, for example, you know, if he's typing, it might not be to her. You know, there's many other people he could type to. I think that you have this thought of her really strongly in your mind, and it's a bit obsessive. Like you're always thinking about them too, or her, and or him, you know. And I feel like it's kind of about stepping a bit more into your own power and releasing your fears and worries, amplifying your own self-confidence, stepping into your own power a little bit. So, you know, maybe talking about really positive things about yourself during the course, you know, maybe something new that you've done, or something you've achieved, or a place you've been, or an experience you've had, or someone you've met. You know, I think just kind of talking very positively about yourself in any way that you can, and maybe focusing again, as I always say, with self-confidence, the solar plexus, you know, and the heart chakra as well, because I feel like, you know, when it's quite... solar plexus and the heart are good for any emotional issues or self-love issues. You know, the heart does connect with that as well. So I think maybe you need to focus on those areas a little bit more, you know, and things like that. Kevin, which domain will my Capgemini training be in for me? Will it be Java, JavaScript, C, Hash, C++, Python? Okay. So Java and C++ are both coming up there, so I suppose it would be one of those. I don't know why there's two coming up there. Spirit animal for Pooja. We have the mouse spirit. The mouse spirit. So this is tend to the small things. So when we do get the mouse spirit come around us, it's usually telling us that we've missed a small detail, or we're too focused on the bigger picture that we're missing small steps that are very important, you know. Sometimes when we're trying to get to a goal, we kind of try and run, and we kind of leap over things as we're running, and small things can be very important as well, and we kind of overlook that. It can be small details, it can be the small print in things, you know, if you're signing a big contract, if you're signing anything for moving forward, a house, a car, you know, a job, a new job, can also relate to like small prints and things like that as well, but just don't lose focus on those smaller details. Marianne, is my younger brother Christopher still living at my elder brother Mark's house? Okay, I guess a yes on that. Jan, why did he not open up to me about this personal things? Does he think I'm untrustworthy, or is there a particular reason why he didn't open up to me specifically? Yeah, so it just seems to be about trying to be mindful about who to let know the more personal things. So he feels a little bit like you're not super close anymore, and you know, maybe it's not needed to tell you specifically. So he's just kind of keeping his cards close to his chest and being mindful of who he tells more personal information to. Spirit animal from Marianne. There we are. Oh, so you have the turtle spirit. Slow and steady wins the race. So slow and steady. So not rushing right now. Slowing the momentum down a little bit. Not trying to get everything done straight away or at once. Slow and steady certainly does win the race, and it's kind of similar to that mouse spirit one in terms of when we're slow and steady, we don't miss anything. We're not overlooking anything. You know, we're kind of being more aware because we're taking our time. We're not rushing past. So yes, slow and steady is definitely a good one. And the turtle spirit. Kevin, card of my choice. Let's keep in theme and give you a spirit animal as well. Oh, eagle spirit for Kevin. You have the eagle spirit. Spirit has your back. So, spirit having your back is a very positive message. There's very powerful energy with eagle spirit. So, very powerful guides, very powerful, you know, spiritual energies. But also as with most bird spirit animals, when you get winged animals a lot of the time, you know, you're soaring above, you're raising higher, you're seeing the bigger picture, you know, it's very freeing and very, like, going to that next level, you know, leveling up kind of energy. Pooja, how am I doing on my spiritual journey and for tapping into my spiritual gifts? Any advice for improvement? Okay. Yeah, so there's a very positive message with it. It does seem like you are doing well. It doesn't seem like you're doing anything wrong or, you know, going down the wrong path. It does seem like you are on a positive path. I would say that there's some guidance for delving a little bit deeper into study in some areas. So whether that's like a divination that you really want to get into, or it's a certain type of work that you really want to get into in some way, you know, when we lean to different aspects like mediumship or, you know, doing a tarot or doing whatever it might be, just really polishing your skills and abilities. So you know, I'm definitely an advocate for things not having to be perfect before you put them out there, but it's kind of like me with tea leaf reading now, you know. I'm not going to tell anyone that I'm like an expert in tea leaf reading just yet, because I still need to polish up on that, you know. So it's that kind of energy for you. It's like being quite honest with yourself about where you do need to polish up on and where you are very good at as well. Jan, does Caden think I'm done with him? I guess a no on that, actually. Marianne, have the psychic attack on me backfired or returned to sender/senders? Yes, I get a yes on that. Rain says, is Yuto missing me? Get a yes on that as well. Jan, what are his feelings and intentions with her? So I'm still not really getting romantic energy, but I'm definitely getting an increased closeness. They definitely does seem to be wanting to spend a bit more time together. Kevin, what are P's thoughts and feelings about A? They seem to just be platonic. Jasmine, will the magistrate allow my advocate to sit with me during the hearing? I'm trying to decide if I should even take the trip up there to use them. Getting a yes on that, actually. Pooja, timeline check for N and A splitting up. I'm not getting it right now. It seems very low prominence that there will be a split, so the time isn't coming up. Time isn't coming up. Jan, why am I so low on his priorities? Does he not care about me or the connection? Or is he just like, whatever, Jan will forgive me regardless? So I would just say that I wouldn't say he doesn't care about you. I'd never say that he doesn't care about you, because I do think that he does. But I do think that there's not a lot of care for the connection, because I don't really feel like he's really feeling that there's much of a connection, you know? Kind of feels like that, like he just feels like there isn't too much of a connection. Feels a bit more like that than not necessarily caring about it. Main says, no, I appreciate your honesty. I won't do the FX trading. Yeah, I mean, I have to say what comes through, but I would always recommend everyone to go with your own intuition as well. Rain, am I on the forefront of Yuto's mind because our group of friends were using the group chat this weekend? Okay. So I'm getting a yes on that. Rain, are things going okay at my job at Tondaya? I'm getting a yes on that. Jan, does he have any intentions towards me, or is it still just not wanting to lose me but also having a no future plan? Yeah, it definitely feels like that. It's almost like there's no... It feels like he can't never fully let go, but he doesn't have any plan. I'm really not seeing that. Marianne, I'm picking up an untrustworthy vibe from Julie Ann. Is she trustworthy, or does she only want financial gain from me? Unfortunately, I'm also getting a bit of untrustworthiness from that as well, I'm sorry to say. Kevin, if A does message in a couple of days, what will he say? I'm asking to hang out, it seems to be. Spellcasting from Marianne. Oh, doesn't want to be in focus. Life purpose is the message on the card. So it's kind of talking about you coming more in tune with your life purpose. So whether this is very consciously, you decide like, oh, this is my life's work, this is my life's purpose, this is what I'm meant to do. Whether you very consciously decide it, or whether it's just about the alignments that are being made, or just putting you on that path, you know, and it's kind of going on behind the scenes. Either way, you are being aligned more onto your life's purpose. Aroni, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. So, is there romantic attraction between AW and you, or is it just platonic? Okay. Let me just focus for a moment on your... I took in your year, but not the month and day, so bear with me. Okay. I'm guessing yes. So I'm guessing yes to romantic attraction. It seems very minimal at the moment, but it's probably something that could be increased, but I'm guessing a yes. And I'm glad I got it right. Thank you. That's great. So yes. Jan says, when was this thought about hanging out, and why didn't you go through with that? Okay. Yeah, so I feel it links to... I feel like it links to a time you've spoken about where there was some kind of call hanging out, and he said he would do it later, but didn't, and I was thinking about it. That was the last time. See if your wisdom from Marianne. There you are. You have energy of love. Energy of love. Behold the world through the eyes of love. So, just saying and remaining in that heart chakra energy, really. It's, you know, it's just about that love is the highest energy of all. When we give love, no matter in which way, whether it's unconditional, platonic, romantic, we receive it back in a variety of different ways, you know? So it's just about staying in that energy of love, and love for yourself as well. Don't forget love for yourself. Aromi says AW's current feelings and intentions towards me. Okay. So we're getting quite positive feelings. There seems to be some intention to connect a bit more, get to know you a little bit more. There definitely seems to be some kind of wanting to move forward, wanting to, you know, things not to fizzle out, if that makes sense. So there definitely is intentions of something, you know, whether it's just getting to know you better, whether it's meeting in person. There's definitely intentions to hold on, not let this fizzle out, and see how this goes. So there is strong intentions with that. Kevin, where do my ancestors want my life to go towards? Do they have any specific things or directions planned for me? Okay. It feels like really their main purpose and focus at this moment is about foundations. So your foundations and where you will kind of end up. So it's like, or not end up in the end, but like at this current moment in terms of stepping out into the world and very prominently on your own and making new foundations in a certain location or home, like certain location. So yeah, it's really about where you're going to kind of root yourself for the next, you know, period of your life. Akashic Tarot for Rain. Oh, you have the Divine Physician. So the Divine Physician can mean a few things. It can be about your own healing journey. It can be about finding a great healer, finding a great, you know, a great healer or coach or whatever kind of thing it might be. It can even be about you know, if you do have a ailment, it can be about finding the right healthcare professional, you know, whether that's a doctor or the right kind of, I don't know, whatever it might be. It's about finding the right healing for what you need in your life path, whether it is spiritual, emotional, mental, physical, you know, whatever it might be. It's about finding that right healer for your life path, but there also is some indication that you might have some kind of healing abilities as well that you might be available to tap into. So that's maybe something you could think about if you're wanting to go. And again, that could be spiritual healing like Reiki, that could be physical, like going down the route of, you know, being a carer or a doctor, a nurse, something like that, or mental, like being a therapist. It could, you know, could align in any way like that. But it's about you finding your own correct healing for you, and also that possibility of you having some healing energy in some area. Aromi, what do you see coming in love for me for the rest of the year? So generally asking for the whole rest of the year, it's too broad, because the reason why we say specific questions for the crystal ball is because a whole reading, like of my full in-depth readings that are on the website, they usually take around half an hour. So if someone, and people will just ask things like, yeah, a reading of love theme for the rest of the year, and it can take up to half an hour to do that, because it just depends. Like you might meet your soulmate in the next few days, and then you're together for the rest of the year. That would be a pretty easy reading. But there's many things, you know. Sometimes people have multiple interests. They might have a short period of dating that doesn't work out. There can be many things that come up in a love reading for the rest of the year, especially for the rest of the year, since there's many months left here. So we generally be more specific with the questions, but again, you can ask as many as you want. So if you ask a question and you feel like, oh, that opens up another question, you know, they're just more specific, but as many as you want. But I will pull you a love card anyway for that. I know you're new, so don't worry for not really knowing that. But yeah, so you do get, though, in the love card, you get this could be the one. So the love card does link to the current chapter and maybe just kind of near future, like very near. And it says you've already met the romantic partner that you seek. So that's interesting as well, because yeah, so you've already met them, so they're in your realm in some way. So whether they're a friend, whether they're a friend of a friend that you've met once, whether they're someone you've just spoken to online, you know, whatever it might be, however they might be in your life, however small or big, you have already met them. So that's very interesting. And it says this could be the one, so there is a good... So when it says you've already met the romantic partner that you seek, of course that could just mean you've already met the person that has the qualities you're looking for. Doesn't necessarily indicate that you'll get into a relationship with them, but there is a positive energy around that. So let's pull another one for you, just in case we do delve a little bit further. Oh, that's interesting because we have deception, but it is drawn upside down. So sometimes if we draw a card upside down, we can take meaning from that. Generally with oracle cards, there's a little bit less of a importance of the way it's drawn, but I think it's interesting that deception is drawn upside down, because what it can mean when we have the opposite of deception is something coming to light. So something that has been hidden, like in a deception, someone hides something, deceives you in some way, something hidden coming to light. So it's actually a bit more positive than being deceived, although it could have been something hidden, it's coming to light. So it could be something negative, it could be like someone's been lying to you, or there's a secret that comes to light. But it could also be, when we're going back to the romantic person, if it's something that's coming to light, it could also be someone who has feelings for you, who maybe they haven't told you yet. You know, so there could be, with it being upside down, there could be a more positive note to it. When we draw deception the right way, that's very, very, you know, oh, it's not perfect, but there could be a more positive light to it because of the way that we've drawn it here. So yeah, but it could still be a secret that's not, you know, great. It could still be something that's, you know, not perfect with deception energy, but it might be something a bit more positive, like I said, someone who has interest in you, and they're like, okay, I'm going to finally admit it, I'm going to finally, you know, tell you. Kira says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kira. I hope you are well. Jan says, when will he ask to hang out? Sorry. So get like in between 1 to 2 weeks away. Kira, does Tyrone love me? Okay. I'm guessing a no on that. There are strong feelings, but I don't think love, not as strong as love. Kira says, is Tyrone going to come and be with me at my home now? So there's actually a strong energy of that this is very possible. It is very possible, so there is a high possibility with that one. Kevin, will Tanya and I be able to meet tomorrow, possibly? It seems more likely that it won't be that close, but there is a possibility. There is a possibility of it being tomorrow. It's just quite low. I would say maybe 20%. So I do feel the meeting soon. It's just that close just feels quite low. Kira says, are me and Jake compatible? Yes, I guess a yes with that. I do get a yes. Jan, well, it's because lately, these past days, he's been telling me, hey, we'll call back, and then he's with her, and I know she does tend to spam text him during calls with me, since she be stalking us and trying to get him out of the call with me, to call her instead, and it's just how she is. Kira, when do you see me getting in another serious relationship? Okay. I think it'll be 2 to 2.5 months until you do. Rain, should I take the TOEIC test to measure English proficiency? Okay. So it's kind of coming as like, there's positive energy around it, but it's not totally necessary, you know? So there's nothing negative around it. It does look actually, there's a very positive energy, but it's almost like saying it's not necessary. Kevin, will I be doing my masters with one of my friends? Roseanne, Shruti, Tania, Parth, Haitan, or maybe someone new from Capgemini? Okay, let me see. So there seems to be a high prominence around Shruti and also around New at Capgemini. So yes, there's high prominence around two of those. Carolyn, does Christopher know / sense his parents want us to be together? I guess a yes on that, actually. An angel card for Rain. Clear your space. Archangel Jophiel. Get rid of clutter. I can't speak today. Get rid of clutter. Clear the energy around you and use Feng Shui. I'm a huge proponent of Feng Shui. Actually, we do need to take account and note of how the energy around us in our spiritual spaces has just as much impact as our own internal system of energy, you know. So we have our Reiki and meditation for our internal energies, but we do sometimes forget about our space, the energy around us. So if there's any space where you spend a lot of your time, so your home, the room you sleep in, and even like office space, workspace, can benefit from some type, you know, maybe you don't believe in like the regimented Feng Shui and you know that kind of practice, but the energy around you, whatever you feel intuitively, will help the energy around you, you know. Rain says, how's my dad doing? Should I visit him in the hospital this week? Okay. Yeah, so I'm guessing kind of like this with how's he doing. It's kind of like, it's not bad, but it's not perfect, you know, it's not great. So I'm guessing a yes to visiting. I'm guessing a yes. Jan, what would happen if I were to open up to Caden saying I feel like he's being very distant? Is there anything going on between us? And how will he respond? Okay. Yeah, it seems like he'll kind of be, the kind of energy is kind of like, oh yeah, I've just been busy and things are okay. It seems like he will just kind of brush it off a little bit, but in a kind of positive way, I suppose. Kevin, when will I get the Europe project from Capgemini? Will it be in or before 2027? Yeah, it seems more likely in. It seems more likely in 2027, yes. Rain, are my brother Sen and his partner Rizal good for each other? I love the names then. Oh my gosh, I love it. So are they good for each other? Okay. I'm guessing a yes on that, actually. Jan, did he tell her this personal thing? Okay. Yes, I guess a yes on that, actually. Starseed for Rain. Advancement. Strong energy is propelling you forward. Follow the stirrings of your heart. So a strong energy is propelling you forward, and you'll have advancements. So advancements could be, you know, it can be very spiritual, so leveling up spiritually, leveling up maybe in healing, you know, the healing process, the healing journey. But also we do have, you know, there could be some leveling up more in this physical space, like in work or in a love path or something like that. Jan, why does he not feel like there's much of a connection? Did all of our years together mean nothing to him? So I think you know anyway that that's not true, and you know, I don't really need to check it in the ball. Your years together did mean a lot to him, and I feel like that's definitely why there's trouble completely disconnecting, you know. I feel like he's, you know, this energy of like, he always seems to not be able to fully pull away from you. I think that is due to that, and I think, you know, that's very, you know, it did mean a lot to him. I totally do feel like it did. I feel like it's just that kind of energy of everything comes to an end eventually, and, you know, am I moving in a different direction or not, kind of thing. Kevin, will I like Java and C++ for coding? I'm not very experienced at all, and for some reason it's hard to retain coding knowledge for me, okay? So I do get a yes, and I definitely do get the energy of it becoming easier, and it doesn't even seem like it's too slow and steady and it becoming easier. It seems like it's quite, I wouldn't say quick, but you know, maybe faster than you think, maybe faster than you feel you would get it. It does seem like there's improvement there anyway. So I get a yes on that. Jan, if he doesn't want to lose me, why is he doing hurtful things and deliberately not putting much effort into the connection and letting it fall apart? I just feel like the way he thinks of it and the way you think of it are different. So you're thinking of like he's deliberately doing it, like he's deliberately thought, like planned out, like I'm going to say that I'll hang out with her later, then I'm going to not do it and ignore her. But that's not where his mind's at. His mind in the moment of being with you is like, oh, it might be good to hang out later, that might be good. And then he's going off, he's living his life, and then he's just feeling like something else pulls him, you know, and he kind of just wants to go and do that thing. He's not thinking of it like, this is really, really hurting Jan. He's not thinking of it like that. He definitely should be at least saying, oh, sorry, can't hang out later, I've made plans. He should at least be like, I totally agree, you know, like it's thoughtless, it's mindless, you know, the way he's done it. It's kind of like he's not thoughtful enough, but it's not being deliberately hurtful. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, Aromi, does you have romantic attraction towards AW or the other way around, or is it mutual? Okay. So there seems to be a bit from both sides, but it's more minimal from A and higher from you. That's how it seems. So Rain may have a love card for my connection with Yuto, of course. Here we are. Oh, you have pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So what I always say when we get the red flag card, we think of red flags in the general sense as like, it's definitely a warning sign to stop. You know, that's the whole point in it being a red flag. It's like, stop, this is a bad thing. But when we get the card, it can sometimes refer to things that not necessarily have to completely cut the relationship short, or you have to completely stop, but could be things like, you know, not having rose tinted glasses on. So you have to be mindful that you know, there might be things that are negative that you're not really seeing, that you might have to think about, can I deal with this, or does it look like they're working on it or not? Is it something that I can, you know, accept as a downfall? Because everyone has faults. So it's kind of that energy. It's like not having rose tinted glasses on, understanding that what their faults might be, and if they can fit into your life path, if you do feel like those faults can be worked around, you know, either together, or you think, you know, sometimes it's like this person has this issue, this problem, but maybe they're working on it in some way, you know, in whatever way that might manifest in their life, but you see that they are, and you're like, okay, definitely worth a chance, you know. Like, it could be if you don't like, for example, my example would be if you don't like smoking. You know, I always said I would never date a smoker, but I really like this person. From talking to them, you know, maybe you spoke online for ages and then realised that they smoked, you know. When you meet up, it's kind of that energy of, can we come to a compromise? Will they try to stop, or will they smoke only outside? You know, if you were to live together, you know, something like that. It's just an example, but it's that kind of energy. It's like something you might not really like, but can maybe be worked around. Jan says Acacia card. There you are. So actually, this is interesting. So this is the time frame card, and we have the spring as your time frame. So in the spring is when the more very positive changes, alignments, manifestations are all going to come into your life path. So if you are feeling like you're working towards something, you're not quite getting there, it's like you're, you know, maybe you're looking for a certain type of job role, or you're creating something but it's not, you know, maybe you're putting something out there online or anything. It could be anything. You're trying to manifest something, you're trying to achieve something, but you're not quite getting it. Spring is coming as a time frame when things take a more positive turn for you. So yeah, just a bit of a, you know, you're working towards something and you're not totally pushing against the tide. You'll get there eventually. It's just slow. Oh, we have a super sticker. Thank you so much, Rain. And I greatly appreciate that. It's very, very sweet. I greatly appreciate that. Arumi Has AW been doing any self-reflection on his avoidant tendencies so that we might be able to get closer in the near future? Okay. Unfortunately, I'm getting a very minimal energy on that, so there could be a little bit of self-reflection going on, but it definitely seems like, I'm leaning more towards no with that one, I'm very sorry to say. Kevin, will A and I talk frequently if A unblocks and messages me? Yes, absolutely. If that was to happen, I feel like it would be a turning point. Jan, love card. Pulling another one upside down here. So it says, give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. So yeah, I don't take, like I said, I don't take too much from them being upside down. It might be saying it's the last chance. If it's a chance card and it's upside down, it might be saying it's the last chance. But giving the relationship a chance. So there's still a bit of guidance of a chance there. Whether it's the last chance or not. Rain, should I apply for the travel reporter position? I've been thinking of putting it off until I lose weight. Okay. I'm getting a strong push. I'm getting a yes, go for it. So I would say don't hold off on it, and I would say yes, go for it. Kevin, will A invite me to his IG friend group, and if so, when do you see him doing that? I get a very low energy with that. I would say a no on that one at the moment. Jan, what are his feelings and intentions towards me? We did that, didn't we? We did that earlier. I'm pretty sure. Let me just see, just in case I didn't. Yeah, so I would just say feelings are a bit dampened, a bit low. Like, there is positive feelings there, but I would just say that's a bit low. And as far as intentions, I would just say it's kind of... it's that energy, like we spoke about before, of this wanting to kind of keep you there. There's not feeling ready to release you, so there's definitely intention to have you there in some way, whether that's very infrequent conversations or calls or whatever. But yes, it's just not very strong, it's just not very vibrant. Druid Wisdom for Rain. I don't think you can see it, but you might be able to see the picture on the back. Mirror visions. Are you dreaming or awake? There is more to reality than the one we are taught to take. So add a small dash of mugwort and mint to your tea for lucid dreams. So you're being a little bit guided on lucid dream path. Very interesting. Mugwort and mint is great as well, because mugwort is great for lucid dreaming, but it does not taste very nice. Mint always helps with that. Kevin, is there any correlation between me doing my masters in 2027 and also getting a project in Europe for Capgemini in 2027? Does the masters come with the project? Okay. So it seems more likely to be two different possibilities, that maybe there might be a choice between them. Jan, when will things have a positive shift between me and Caden? I feel like they were shifting, but then M started to interfere again, and now they're back to being close. I'm not really getting guidance on time frame at the moment, unfortunately. Rain, how did you two feel when he read my comment on his most recent Instagram post? Yeah, I just get a kind of a happy energy. I just get kind of like a... yeah, it seems quite vibrant. Like, I wouldn't exactly say excited, but that kind of very high positive energy. And a love card for Rain. Flirt. So you have flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. So this is all about the well, we talk about it quite a lot here, and so you probably have heard me say it, but that balance between that very kind of serious, kind of responsible adult kind of energy, and then that childlike, you know, tapping into the inner child and light-hearted kind of energy, which flirting kind of comes into when it's a relationship sense, you know, that light-hearted, maybe mischievous, jokey kind of energy. So, you know, make sure you're staying in your humour, you're keeping your humour about you, being that nice, light-hearted, funny person that you know you can be. It's very much needed in the love space at the moment. Not delving in too seriously, too deep, too soon. Staying light-hearted, being flirty, being jokey, being fun, you know? Tapping into that nice energy. So Jan, if I tried to sit down and have an emotional talk with him, explaining how I felt, as in that he's distancing and like I've been holding up the connection alone, and it feels like he doesn't care, how will this go over? Will this make him aware of my feelings and have him put more effort into the connection and reassure me that we are good? Reassure him that we're good. Okay. At the current moment, it definitely seems like something that will push him away because he's not really in that space himself, and I feel like he will see it as kind of overwhelming and controlling a little bit. Like he in the current energy, it kind of feels like he doesn't really feel like there's too much of a connection to hold up anyway, and he's just not really thinking of you guys as being in that space to have those deep connections, if that makes sense. Like you really just feel a kind of distance and a kind of more distanced connection at the moment. Kevin sees a starseed card for me. Yes, of course. Oh, Ascension, if you can see it. I don't think you can. Ascension. Your soul is evolving to higher states of consciousness. You are ready for this. Amazing. So you're getting confirmation that you're ready to ascend. So yeah, if sometimes we do feel like we're not quite ready, especially if we're still kind of, I don't know, delving into something on the spiritual path. Sometimes we feel like we're not quite ready, but it seems like you are. Rain, what are the red flags in regards to my connection with Yuto? Okay. I would say at the moment that that there's commitment and I wouldn't necessarily say loyalty because I know you're not in a relationship, but I would say commitment and I'd only be able to say commitment because I know you're not in a proper official relationship, but if you were, then maybe it would be something like but I know it would be something like unfaithfulness or something like that, because it comes as there's this kind of attraction to multiple people going on and a little bit of flirty energy to multiple people. So although there is attraction to you, it feels like at the moment it's spread out a little bit, that energy. But you know, we can't say for certain that if you were to delve into an official relationship that it would be that way. I'm sure that there's every possibility that Yuto can be faithful in an actual relationship, but it seems that at the moment there's kind of spreading that energy around, if you will. So that could be something to be mindful of at the moment in this current kind of stage of the connection, you know, where it's not official or anything. Maybe it's not the greatest energy to feel like you're competing with someone or sharing time with other people, you know. So there's just that kind of energy that comes through. Jan, how will this go over? That's the end of the other question. Aromi, can I manifest you away from being a third party in my connection with AW, or will she go away eventually? She's a stubborn one, and I guess she lied to me about not having feelings for him. Okay. Yeah, it definitely seems like you can manifest this. I do feel the stubborn energy, yes. So yeah, and that can come with people who hide things as well, and are kind of like liars and that. But yes, you can manifest this. You can. I would definitely say that you can. And I suppose while we're on the topic of that, I know you guys are members, so you probably do know, but with some of you being more the earlier times, you might not have heard me say this before. I know it says here for full readings, go to my website, secretfrequencies.com/shop, but also do spells, sessions, like energy cleansing, Reiki, sound healing, and spells. Like I was just prompted because I saw the third party there. I do have third party removal spells as well, and all sorts of different spells. So like love, money, gosh, I can't even think. But any I can tailor to you. So I do custom spells as well. But as members, so just in case you don't know this, as members, you get half price on a lot of things on the website. So if you just go to the store there, if you just look at it and have a little browse, if anything does interest you, just send me a message. Say, Venus, I really want this. Is this half price for members? And I will give you the discount code if it is. Most spells are. It's just some physical items and one-on-one sessions, really, that aren't. But just double check with me just in case. But yeah, so you can check that out for whatever you might be interested in. And members do get half price on that. I know some early members have probably never heard me say that. And our new member as well. We do have our new member. Spellcasting for rain. Spellcasting, yes. There you are. You have answers. Answers. So that's interesting. To have your answers card pulled on a crystal ball stream where you're getting some answers. But it is showing you that you're getting some answers on your life path. So it could even be things being uncovered, outside of having readings and things like that. It could be people being more honest with you, things being uncovered, things coming from beneath the surface, having more clarity on things, just generally gaining answers. It could even just be more clarity in your own mind about what you want in life and where you want to go, answering your own questions and things like that as well. But more clarity coming generally is the gist of that card. So that's a nice card to get for current chapter. We want clarity. We want to know where we're going. Kevin, do you see A and I having a heart-to-heart conversation with each other? Okay. I feel like there's a possibility, like, it's just with this one, it seems quite low prominent at the moment, unfortunately. It feels like if it happens, it's going to be soon, but it just doesn't feel that likely to happen. Rain, should I submit something for the short story contest? Yes, absolutely, yes. Sufi Wisdom for Rain. And best of luck with that as well if you do. There we are. So we have ending a trauma, transform memories and symptoms. So anything that maybe you had trauma with, some issue with, something like that going on, any memories, any symptoms, anything that might be, maybe there's a little trigger or something that, triggers you to a negative habit or something, or negative thoughts. It seems like that's coming to an end. So it's nice, because sometimes when we do have issues, whether they're physical, whether they are mental, spiritual, or anything, we do have this inability to see that they will end eventually. So it's nice to know when things are coming to an end. Aromi, if AW is avoidant but wants to get closer to me, would it help if I initiated an offer to have a transparent or honest conversation sometime? I don't want to be awkward with him forever. Okay. Yes, I'm getting very positive energy with that, so I would say just laying it out will be very positive, because when we do that as well, sometimes maybe they will decide against it, maybe sometimes they will say no initially, but they know that you've put that out there, and they know that energy is there, and they could come back to that as well. in the hopefully not too distant future, because you can't wait forever, you know. Kevin, will it be a better option if I choose to do my masters in 2028 and do the Europe projects in 2027 instead? Yes, I get a yes with that. Oh, we have another new member, Nora Mustafa. Hello and welcome, our newest root chakra member. So hello and welcome. I hope you are well. So I'll just go back over the stream in case we do have anybody who doesn't know, and we have a new member as well. So I'm Venus, this is Secret Frequencies, and we do many different types of readings here, but as a member, so we do things like crystal ball, rune, aura reading, tarot reading, tea leaf reading, palm reading, all different types of things. But as a member, you get any stream that comes on throughout the month, but you also get at least two extra crystal balls a month for members, and one channeling. So channeling is a pack that's only for members. So if you are a member, there's usually 2 or 3 streams of that a month, because we have so many members, and I usually do 8 to 10 in one stream. But if you it's a members only pack, the channeling, so subscribers never get channelings. And you can choose a twin flame, soulmate, POI, spirit guide, passed over loved one, anything like that for your channeling, and that's on a channeling stream. So that's in a few days, I think, 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, you can join on the members crystal balls and the channelings and any other stream that we do. And in some streams, even if they are just for anyone, members are still prioritized. So for example, tea leaf reading, as I'm only learning that right now and I'm not perfect at it yet, that members are prioritized, and members are getting priority on that, so I can practice with members and they get a reading, so that's nice. So yeah, but hello and welcome. And the other thing, like I just said here as well, if you many things on my shop, so secretfrequencies.com/shop, are actually half price for members. So if you are interested in anything on there, just let me know and I will give you a discount code for half price as well. So let's just see. So we have I think we can probably go for half an hour longer right now. Yeah, about half an hour left, so you are kind of catching us at the end. The streams are between 2 to 3 hours, so depending on what sessions I have scheduled and things like that, the sessions are between 2 to 3 hours. So I'll get through them, and if we don't get many of our new members' messages done, I'll do a few of theirs before I go. And yeah, but look out for the upcoming member streams, there will be more. And since this is quite a busy stream, I think I will, maybe we'll do another early one this month, we'll see. Let's see. So, Chan, is there anything I can do to get things in a more positive place between me and Kaden? I think that's similar to what we asked before. So I'm just going to leave that one for now. Carolyn, yeah, I'm sure. Did I answer one like that just before? Oh yeah, you said also just working on my fears and confidence. Oh yeah. So yeah, you are linking it to the past one. Yeah, that's what's coming up at the moment, and I feel like it's just because the reason is because it's at the moment the ball is in his court, so there isn't too much that you can do within the connection other than the focus on yourself, the inner energies, your own energy, you know. It's a shame. It really seems like things are distancing a lot between you. It is a shame. Carolyn, will Christopher be happy about the outcome of his appointment this Friday? I get like this kind of energy on it, so it's like not unhappy but not super happy, so it's kind of an in between, like uncertain kind of energy. Rain, I've been taking the weight loss medication occasionally, but should I take it regularly? This medication is prescribed by a doctor, so it's safe. Okay. Yeah, more regularly, I am getting that there, so yes. Jan, why exactly does he feel like there's not much of a connection? Did I do something wrong, or am I just losing him? Yeah, it feels just to be kind of a natural flow of like where his energy and where his emotions are going. Unfortunately, you know, it feels like you guys have been so up and down for so long that this could just be another down. Maybe, hopefully, who knows? But it feels like he's just kind of losing kind of energy and faith in it. You know, Kevin. If A and I don't go through the romantic connection path and just stay friends, do you see the connection staying longer? It doesn't seem to be too long either way, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. Jan, when will Caden distance from her and when will they cut ties? Distancing, I'm feeling like towards the end of the month, but cutting ties completely, I'm just not really seeing it right now. Rain, is Yuto particularly into me or am I just one of his multiple people he's into at this time? There definitely does seem to be a kind of more special kind of spark with you, but yeah, I just feel like the attention is kind of divided, you know. Jan, how's the rest of August looking for things between me and Caden? So let's just do, it's a bit broad, so the rest of August. Let's just do frequency of communication, maybe. So it looks like a chance to pick up kind of in that third week. There looks like a more prominent energy of maybe it picking up a bit. Kevin, how will my training period in Capgemini in September be like? Okay. Get really positive energy with that. I get a very positive energy. Aromi says, yes, she's out of here, ha ha. I do feel like when I do affirmations, her interference weakens and only increases when there's space between me and him. Well, that's good. That's good that at least you're having success with your affirmations. So yeah, I guess keeping them up and trying to keep the space between you quite minimal is the best option. Jasmine, I'm back. Can I ask some questions off stream? Yes, absolutely, yes. Of course, Jasmine. Kevin. Oh, you guys just saying welcome to new members. That's very, very lovely. And you're very welcome, Arumi. It's so lovely to have our new members in chat. It's very, very lovely. Thank you, Jan, for moderating a little bit there as well. But yeah, so not too many questions to get through here. So what I would say, the chat is quite quieting down. So if you have any last questions to get in, do post them now. And also, especially new members as well. I always say on streams, be respectful of people and spread your answers out. But new members, if you want to just put a few together, like 2 or 3 or 4, and for our newest one, you can do a few more if you want. Since it is quieting down, and I do want to make sure you guys are getting a chance at least, you know. So Rain, what does Yuto miss about me? Okay. There's definitely an energy of your presence. There's definitely an energy of your actual in-person physical presence, you know. So I do know this is where a lot of missing you energy is coming from, because you know you can communicate, you can see pictures of each other, you can see what each other looks like and things like that. But being in physical presence is very, very different, and it feels like that's very missed. So Nora, thank you so much for the full name, for the date of birth as well, Jan, thank you for asking for that. So let me just focus on that for a moment before I go into your question. Maybe the chat isn't quite an exam. Maybe it's my... Hold on. Am I just... Oh no. Sometimes it's just a glitch. So just wanted to check. Okay. So Nora says, can you ask how Mohammed Fawzi is feeling about me recently? And what's his next moves towards me in this next month? If he's interested in a more commitment relationship or even closer as friends. Okay, so feeling about you recently and next actions. Are we looking at friends or commitment? Okay. Yeah, so the feelings are very positive. So we do have attraction. So we are seeing something that's not only friendly, but we do have a lot of care. There is positive energy. There's kind of wishing you well is quite a nice one that's coming through. Like kind of wanting you to do well and hoping you are well kind of energy. So there is a lot of care energy there. So that's really nice. So the feelings are quite positive. There definitely is some energy of it, there definitely being something that's a little bit more than just friendly. So there is some attraction. So next moves. Okay. So it seems to be a little bit slow. It seems to be a little bit slow and steady. It's kind of like getting to know each other, maybe, you know, yeah, just delving into things a little bit more, you know, picking up communication a little bit more gradually, like a gradual upward trajectory in terms of communication and maybe meetings, but meetings up, like maybe, you know, maybe sort of casual before it progresses a little bit, you know. It seems to be a little bit slow but steady. So yeah, let's look at the commitment or friendship. Yeah, I'm definitely getting with the intentions and with that, I'm definitely getting a very slow but steady energy. So it does seem like there's more of a casual, friendly energy in the beginning that grows a bit, and the feelings come out slowly. So yeah, it looks positive, but does look a little bit slow. Let's see. So happy to have you, Nora. So happy to have you. So guys, for our two new members, Nora and Arumi, if you do have any questions, if you maybe like, oh, you know, I was on stream, but I'm just a little bit unsure of this, you're very welcome to connect with me. All of my information is in the description of the video. I have Facebook, Discord, and email are the best ways to contact me. I know Facebook's very old-fashioned, but they're the best ways to contact me. And then I do also have my so to contact me, they're the best ways: email, Facebook, and Discord. Sorry. So any of those, you can find them in the description if you want to ask me any questions, anything like that. But like I said, you can check out my website if you want as well. It's just to see if anything interests you there, and members do get half price with everything on that. So yeah, it's as many questions as you want on the live as well. So it's as many questions as you want within the time. So unfortunately, we are winding down a little bit with the time, but I'm not super in a rush. So I will give a moment. I'll give you guys a bit of a chance. So let's see. As many questions as you want as a member, just within the time frame. Jan says, when will he realise he should put more effort into the connection and that he is letting it fall apart? Okay. So it's just, yeah, so the energy for this is a little bit, it's difficult to read because, you know, it's not like he needs to realise that he needs to put more effort into the connection. It is a decision on either side. Like, you're deciding to keep a focus on the connection. He might decide not to. It's not like a requirement in his life. It's not mandatory. So the question just doesn't really fit, unfortunately. I'm really sorry to say. Because it's just not mandatory. Unfortunately, if he makes a decision to fully release from you, then unfortunately we don't want him to. You know, no one wants him to here, but it's just that he might. It's a possibility. So I am sorry. I feel like the answers with him have not been great lately. I feel like even they're a bit worse today than they were last time we checked, so it's not a great progression, but we'll just keep a check on it. Like I said, there's been ups and downs with your connection, so hopefully this is just a down, and it will go back up, hopefully. We'll see. Nora, well, Mohammed, sorry, am I pronouncing that wrong? I'm so sorry. So if I do pronounce things wrong, you're very welcome to correct me in the chat, but I'll always still check on the energy of what you've written. So will Mohammed pull back from the friend group that hurt me soon? How will he balance between me and them, unless there will be reconciliation with those people and me? Okay. Okay, so it actually looks more prominently like there is a little bit of time to this, so it's not super imminent. It does seem like a little bit of time passes. It's not in the very near future, but it does seem like there's a reconciliation. It seems like the reconciliation is much more possible, that there's a reconciliation between you and those who hurt you. That looks more possible. Arumi says, when I saw AW looking at me with a blank or sad expression, was it more about longing and regret rather than self-reflection? Yes, I do get a yes on that. Jan, what does he think and feel about my bio? Guessing a neutral energy there, like not much energy, not really thinking about it much, unfortunately. Rain says, is the attention and attraction he's feeling towards others more scattered, or is there a focus on a particular person or people? Yeah, so it does seem like there's you and one other person that it's more prominent with, and other people it's just kind of maybe there's a little physical attraction, or you know, something that's not too deep. Kevin, is there something which is needed to be done before A and I have a heart-to-heart conversation? Yeah, I would definitely say that there needs to be more just normal, casual communication. There needs to be more casual interactions. Jan, how do I open up to Caden about my feelings over him distancing and things feeling off between us? I feel like there's a line I need to walk to try to open up to communicate my feelings. Okay, so it seems like there's a waiting for prompt. So it seems like there's a, when he opens up a little bit about his feelings, when he says something where you can see that that's kind of a prompt, then you reply talking about your feelings rather than you being the one to say it first. Nora, and maybe some message for me. I haven't been in the best place lately. Depressed, upset, feeling everything against me. When will things settle down? When will I see the sun or things all turn around? I'm so sorry to read that. I'm so sorry to read that. Wishing and sending love, light, blessings and healing energy to you. So let's do some messages for Nora. So we will do... So first we'll check. So first I'll check in the crystal ball. When will things settle down, and when will I see the sun or things turn around? So we'll check that first. Actually getting October to November time. I'm leaning a little bit more to the beginning of November. Yeah, for that one. But let's do some, so yeah, I'm sorry to say that because it's not super close. Hopefully that energy can come forward for you and it can be sooner. But let's do some positive, nice messages here. So let's do Angel. We'll do an Angel card. For Nora, career transition. Archangel Camille, your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. So this change can be gradual, can be quick, it can be gradual, but it shows that the angels feel that your life purpose and what you're meant to be doing in your life is probably higher than where you are now. So they're trying to kind of push you in that upward trajectory and align a kind of higher, abundant, higher material kind of path that aligns with your life purpose a bit more as well. So, you know, something that maybe that you enjoy doing, or that where you're putting that energy, positive energy out that you're enjoying it, but you're helping others as well in the process. So that's nice as well. Let's do a spirit animal, see what we get. This is for Nora. Oh, we have the stag spirit animal, amazing. Take the lead. Okay, so there may be a time coming up in this current chapter, near future, where you're being called to step more into your leadership energies, to step into your power. So you might need to take control of the situation. There might be something that you can do a little bit on your own, kind of maybe like a little creative project, maybe selling online, maybe starting your own business. You know, it could be as intense as that. It could even be about, you know, taking the lead on something, you know, maybe you're the one that, maybe you really want a social gathering, but there's nothing happening. Maybe you need to plan something, you know, maybe you're the one who's getting everyone together, and some, you know, it can link to with connections, so taking the lead in a relationship or in a group, you know, like I said, planning a get-together, planning a gathering, or just taking the lead in a connection, maybe putting your feelings forward first, or you being the one to initiate something with a friend or romantic partner. It's just about you taking the lead. It can be on the work path, it can be in a relationship path, but the stag spirit animal can help you with that. So if you feel a little bit like you have trouble taking the lead, or you're not really in that energy. You know, maybe you feel like I'm not really that kind of person. I'm, you know, a little bit more laid back, a little bit more, you know, the stag spirit animal's kind of pushing you to, it's part of your life path to take the lead sometimes. So yeah, that's a nice one. Let's also do you a love card. Let's do a love card and see what we get. Remember, the love cards can link to our friendship connections and other love connections. It's not always romantic, although these are the romance angels, so it does tend to link more to romance, but it doesn't always. Oh, but we have romantic feelings, so this one definitely does. It says romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring, okay? So those romantic feelings that you're feeling, they are real, they are worth exploring, and as well with the, oh, the music stopped, sorry, it's on a 2-hour cycle. So when we have the romantic feelings card as well, it's a very positive omen that it's not just us and that they're feeling it back. See, we have the couple kissing there. So it is a positive omen that they are feeling the feelings back. If you have doubts that they are, it's a positive omen that they are. So there's some cards for Nora there. Rain, what are the positive things happening in my life lately? I'm feeling a little blue, would like a pick-me-up. Positive things happening in my life lately, okay. So it seems like the most positive energy around you at the moment is around your root chakra. So this could link to moving location to, you know, to a more positive location, or it could link to the job. So it could be that the job that you've just gone into is, you know, maybe there's a lot of opportunities with that, or maybe you're going to jump from this to another one with more opportunities. It seems like the root chakra has the most positive energy around you. So abundant energy, good luck energy in physical things, you know, physical property, home, money, you know, that kind of thing, land, even travel, maybe traveling to different places can be root chakra as well. So you're having positive energy around that area. So I would say focus on that area. If there are things you want in the physical manifestations that aren't quite coming, focus on those, because it seems like your luck and abundant energy is heightening. Carolyn, does Christopher enjoy hiding his feelings from me, from me, or does he think it's essential to hide them? So it seems like he hides them from worries and doubts. So it's worries, doubts and fears that don't let him fully express them. And it's not necessarily worries, doubts and fears about you specifically, but about relationships specifically and his life path as well, where he's going with his life path. So he does have some worries and doubts that it just kind of makes him feel like he can't fully express them. But it's not necessarily like he wants to hide them as well. Sometimes he wants to just say them and kind of holds back. Kevin, when you say short connection, how short will a connection be between me and A year or maybe 2? Yeah, I would say at the most 2, yes. Rain, is the other person he's focused on Itsuki or someone else? I'm guessing yes to Itsuki there. Jan, when will Caden open up to me about his feelings and give me a prompt? It seems possible to be in around a month or so. Kevin, you're very welcome. Jan, should I open up to him about myself in general, not about us? Or will this help us feel and get closer to each other? It feels a little bit like he just doesn't really want to be taking on heavy emotions right now. So even if you open up about something quite deep about yourself, it does seem like it's kind of a no, you know? It's kind of a no at the moment. Nora, sorry. What do you see for the issues I'm having with my dad? Will things calm down a bit? Okay. Yeah, so it feels like at the moment you are being guided to take a little break, to take a little kind of keeping him at arm's length as much as you can, and just kind of being less communicative, being less, you know, kind of I don't want to say shutting down because it's not really good advice to tell someone to shut down, but just closing yourself off a little bit from him as much as you can, guarding yourself a little bit, going a bit quieter as much as you can. I know it's not always possible to completely just take a break from someone, when especially if they're family or we work with them or something like that, but just shutting yourself off as much as possible, just for a moment, just to guard your energy, you know, maybe for a week, maybe for a few days, as much time as you feel guided. I would say a few days to a week would be enough, but just really keeping him at arm's length as much as possible for a while, and then allowing the communication to come, allowing you guys to resolve something after that time. But it does seem like the main thing you're being guided to do at the moment is take a step back. Jasmine, was me agreeing to mediation? I was saying meditation. Was me agreeing to mediation with my ex the right decision? Okay. Yes, I'm getting a yes on that actually. Jan, should I extend the olive branch to ask him to hang out or text him in general? And if so, if I ask him to hang out, will he agree? Okay. So I'm guessing a no at the moment. I'm guessing a no and to wait for him. Rain, what's the time frame for a new love that came up last time? So between next month and the end of the year is the time frame I'm guessing that it's most likely to be within this year. So it does look like we are naturally winding down, and it generally does tend to be 2 hours at this time with members anyway. But yes, so what I will say is, so just a few things to take note as well. Jasmine, I will answer that, but just a few things to take note of because I know we do have 2 new members. So all member streams are always scheduled on the homepage, so you have a pre-warning of when a member stream will be. But my mobile streams, whenever I have a spare hour, I jump on with a mobile stream. It might be Pendulum, it might be Crystal Ball, whatever it might be. So I do just do that, like, you know, a couple of times a week. So you're always welcome to jump onto those as well, but it is best to click that notification bell because the mobile ones that aren't planned, you might not be notified of, so just be mindful of that. If you're a member and you ever miss a member's Crystal Ball, you can send a few questions to me. If you miss a normal Crystal Ball, like a normal mobile one, then I really apologise for that. But if you miss a members one, you can send me a few questions, so don't worry if you really can't make any of them in the month, don't worry, you can still have some questions answered. And the same goes for channelings as well. If you really can't make the channelings, if you're super busy or the time zones just don't match up, you can request your channeling to be time stamped, so don't worry about that. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch. Like I said, all of my contact information is in the description of the video. So the only other stream that's scheduled is the members channeling, which is it's on the 9th. Actually, I think I said 3 days, but it's 4 days from now. And we have the members channeling. So you're all welcome to join onto that, but it's not going to be the only one. So you will get a channeling even if you don't make that one. There will be another one scheduled this month. There is going to be I think I posted about it actually, let me check. So there's an aura reading on the 6th, which is tomorrow, so there is an aura reading tomorrow. That's a normal stream, so it's not only for members, but I'm giving you pre-warning about it. So on tomorrow, so it will be after 2 p.m. GMT. So remember, when I post times, they're always GMT. I will usually also post World Time Buddy, which is a time conversion for you to convert. But yes, always remember it's English time zone when I say it. So aura reading tomorrow after 2 p.m. I'm not 100% certain the exact time, but it will be after 2 p.m. And then the next crystal ball will be the next day after that, and that will be after 5 p.m. So it's going to be a later one than this. But yeah, so not tomorrow, but the next day there'll be another crystal ball. But it'll be after 5 p.m. So just so you know. So let's see. I'll just do these last few here. So Jasmine, when will I see my son again? Okay. So I'm guessing around 5 weeks with that one at the moment. It's getting 5 weeks. Nora, is it a better decision to change the gym I'm going to and see Fawzi in his new gym? Actually, I guess a yes on that one. Rain, will I be happier and more at peace if I focused on the new love instead of Yuto? So actually I guess a yes on that, but the reasons I'm getting a yes on that is because it seems like there's nothing wrong with Yuto. I'm not saying that just because someone, you know, when people are single, of course they can flirt with other people, you know, it's totally fine, and as long as when they get into a relationship they're committed, there's no issue, you know. But I do feel like the energy of the new person just seems more vibrant. It just seems more positive and vibrant. So yeah. It just seems more aligned and compatible with you, if that makes sense. So yes. So I will say love, light, and blessings. I think I said as much as I can say about the next streams. But what I will say is there should be a stream every day for the next week. There might be one day. Hold on, let me just find which day it is. So on the Friday, the 8th, there might not be a stream on that day, but there will be a stream on the 6th, 7th, 9th, and 10th. So every day for the rest of the week, besides Friday, there should be a stream. I might even do on Friday if I can, but yes, just letting you know. Let's see. Nora, do you see me and Fawzi will eventually be together in a committed relationship? Okay. Well, I'll check the prominence of this. I would get a percentage prominence on this. So I'm getting around 60 to 65%. Now, it's not super strong, but it's still the most prominent. If it's over 50, it's the most prominent, you know? So, although it's not, you know, we want it ideally to be over 80 at least, you know, 80, 90, 100 is best. But, so it's not super strong, but it is more prominent, so you are getting a good chance on it. There's a good chance. Rain, you're welcome. Jan says, just to clarify, not just asking him to hang out, or a no to also just in general messaging him at the moment. Yeah, I would say just giving him a little bit of space at the moment. But I would definitely say general messaging, I would say it's okay. Unless you're getting like tons of no replies, then, you know, it's never a good thing if you see just your message, and none of theirs. That's what I'd say. Rain, thank you for all your valuable insights. Beautiful Venus, oh. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you too. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Oh yeah, shout out to Nora, to Aromi, for becoming new members. So we have 2 Root Chakra members, Nora and Aromi. So shout out to them. And also a shout out to Rain for the super chat. I greatly appreciate that. So thank you as well. Greatly appreciate that. And a shout out to all of the members because you're all amazing, of course. But they were the nice little new energies of the stream. So love, light, and blessings to each of you. I really hope to see you soon. Yeah, I hope to see you most days this week if you can make it. So yes, love, light, and blessings. See you soon.